Hey everyone, just wanted to do a quick video update, talk a little bit more in detail about some of the no-code or low-code tools that I've been thinking about, discussing, using through my travels in the sort of builder space, if you will. I think it's a pretty exciting time, as I've talked about in some of my articles. There's a number of different tools now available to anybody to start building their own applications, using AI. But the applications themselves can be, something that does or doesn't use AI. And so what I've tried to do here is put together sort of a map of some of the tools that I use, but also provide a bit of progression for people who are trying to enter the space, or at least give them a way to think about the tools that you can use to get started building your own applications. And so this picture that I have up on screen, I posted with an article, and I broke it into kind of three distinct categories. And so working from left to right, the ones on the left are going to be a bit more structured, a good entry point for people who are totally new to the space. The ones to the right are going to be ones that are more like developer-centric tools. These are tools that people who are actually building, tools through command line coding and terminal coding, et cetera. These are tools that they're going to be more comfortable, more familiar with, but are tools that you can begin to learn to build your skill set and begin to use as you become more comfortable. So just provide a bit more context on this. So on the left-hand side, we have our custom GPTs. So these are going to be tools that are AI powered. If you've used ChatGPT or Gemini, Claude, most of these have ways that you can build custom tools inside the applications of the platforms themselves. Custom GPTs allow you to create bots that respond or follow specific instructions and are going to provide you results that are more focused, as opposed to kind of like, if we think of ChatGPT as like the open world where you can ask it any question. These types of tools are going to allow you to focus that work into a specific task, which I think is really a good way for us to think about how we can most effectively use AI, is sort of in the context of a specific task. And so I have a couple examples here, Chipp and Poe. And so just to kind of show you a bit behind the scenes, this is a great entry point for people who are thinking about building their own applications. So here I am logged into Chipp. This is one of my favorite tools to build with. And if I go ahead and once I get signed in, I go ahead and build a new Chipp chat. What you're going to see here is kind of a very structured approach to building a kind of bespoke tool. So you have a name, description, prompt. This is the instructions that you're going to give the AI. So this is what's going to dictate, what it's supposed to do, what its job is. And you also have options down here for selecting specific types of models. As you begin to go into this space more deeply, perhaps you get a subscription, which allows you to access a variety of models for different purposes, whether it's text or also picture outputs. Down here, you can see knowledge sources. This is another really useful aspect of these custom GPT builders, is they often provide you space to add your own information. So, example here in Chipp, you can add all kinds of resources, whether they're URLs, PDFs, you can add slide decks. It even allows you to crawl different websites. And so for me, Chipp is one of my favorite custom GPT builders. And the nice part is they have a marketplace that you can sort of browse to learn what is out there. You can also share these very easily with people to use. So this is my favorite. You can find other ones like Poe, for example, is another builder as well. And so just kind of working back to our map here, there are other options. These are two of my favorite, but are really good places to start because it gives you sort of foundation to start thinking about how you, can build effectively. As we start to get into this project, the 12 and 12, I'm going to share with you my frameworks for how I think about building these. Next, we have AI-assisted code generation. So these are kind of the next iteration. They're super useful for building front-end applications. So if you have websites that don't require vast databases or are really complicated in nature, what you're building your own personal website, these are really good places to start. So my favorite is Lovable, but Lovable and Bolt have very similar interfaces. Lovable, you go to the website, you literally type something in, and it starts building an application for you. You can access both of these for free, but you do have limitations on just how many times you can sort of edit a site during a given day, during a month, and the sort of excitement around these types of applications is really exploding in the space. And so there's new stuff all the time. They just launched at Lovable their kind of like product hunt type website where you can select your favorite tool. Bolt's going to look very similar. Start with a text prompt, and it's actually going to go ahead and build you a website or build you an application based on the information you've provided it. Once again, I'm going to dive into a bit more detail, how I think about using these applications, how I structure my workflows with them. But and if I go back to our picture one more time here, even since I created this picture, there's been a couple of releases. SoftGen is another example of an AI-assisted code generation tool. It's really good. And then they also have I think an iOS app too as well. And then Replit, as an example, just launched their iOS app, and it literally you just type in the whatever it is you want to create, and it actually will go ahead and start building that site or that application with AI agents. While you wait, it'll prompt you when there's decisions to be made, changes to be made, but does a lot of that work autonomously for you. So last, we have our developer-centric tools. These tools are going to be most familiar to those who are, like I said, experienced in developers or have some experience developing tools. They are Windsurfer.ai, probably the one that has the longest standing kind of recognition in the space is Cursor. And then both of these have applications you can actually download for your device, but you can just kind of see in the background, you have a quick, so you're actually looking at sort of the developer space, and you can chat with it. The AI that's sort of behind the scenes can help you improve the code base that you have. Windsurf, a little bit newer, but hearing that's really, really useful, really effective. And so I don't know these as well, quite honestly, to be fully transparent. I'm going to be learning these as we go on our journey here. But I just wanted to kind of give you a sort of layout of the landscape. And as we start to dig into this 12 and 12 project over the course of the year, I'm going to probably start from the left here, working with custom GPTs and working towards building with some of the other tools here towards the right. But you're free to check out any of them at any time, just because, like I said, over time, the barrier to entry is going to continue to decrease. But we're going to start exploring some of these tools this month with our first of our 12 applications for this year here in 2025. So if you watched, thanks for joining. Catch you in the next one.